All right, we are going to start in a couple of minutes. Just looking at the number of people, number of students attending. Climbing there, we have about 82 students signed up. So we'll see everyone who will be joining us today. You are not alone. So one big message from all of us here at the University of Minnesota is you are coming in with your friends and colleagues who will make up the next 4 years. So, or 2 years if you're a transfer student. So, all right. We'll wait a little bit longer. Okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Kabir Mohammed, and I am the program director for student engagement. And I'm here to give you a warm welcome and a congratulations on your achievement. This is something that you should be incredibly proud of. You are now officially starting your journey as an international student, and we affectionately call you a Global Gopher. This forum is sponsored by the International Student and Scholar Services Office and the Office of Orientation and Transition Experience, with support from the Admissions Office. The goal of the student forums is to really provide you with the information as you begin your next steps. We have 2 additional forums that are planned next week. One other opportunity for this forum, it's the same one. So if you've signed up for both of them this week, just remember that it's the same one getting repeated. Just a quick overview of your next step. So you have confirmed your registration, confirmed your admission, yay. And the next step is your international preparation course. Please begin that course, complete it before your orientation date. Thank you again for being here. And just a quick disclaimer, the forum is only applicable to University of Minnesota students. It will comprise of a welcome from our Assistant Dean and Director at ISSS, Admissions Office, Office of Orientation and Transition Experiences, and ISSS Advisor who will cover any immigration-related questions. The format is, it's a 30-minute information session, as well as a 30-minute open Q&A. And I'll give you some additional instructions when we get to the Q&A. This forum will be recorded and posted on our website. Information may change, so visit our ISSS new student website for more up-to-date information. Just a quick caveat, I tell all of the students I meet, ask questions. That's the only way to get the answers and not worry alone. So without further ado, I want to take a minute to introduce Dr. Barbara Kapler, who is the Assistant Dean and Director for the International Student and Scholar Services.
Thank you, Kabir. Congratulations on your admissions to the University of Minnesota, and welcome to the first of the series of forums that we are providing to new students like yourselves. Thank you all for joining us. Our department, International Student and Scholar Services, or ISSS, is the department on campus that works with all international students. Our role is to provide advising to students who have a visa to study in the United States, academic and personal counseling, as well as programs for students to connect with one another. ISSS is here to support you. Today, I'm delighted that several staff from other departments join us to share up-to-date information. We designed today's session to address common questions, and we look forward to providing information to you as you navigate your transition to the university. We understand that each of you faces enormous uncertainty about whether the university will be online or in person this fall semester. University of Minnesota President Gable has shared that a decision will be made in June based on thorough consideration for student safety. The key for our university is preparedness.
I'm sorry, I can't complete your request.
And we are diligently working so that we can complete robust plans no matter the outcome. Our goal is to ensure that you remain informed throughout the process and to help you to keep connected to the university community. As a new University of Minnesota student, you can be proud of the way that our university has merged its talents and resourcefulness regarding COVID-19. Our world-class researchers are implementing high-impact solutions to track the virus, defend against it, and treat COVID-19 patients. One such example is the team of bioengineering students who designed and produced over 300 medical gowns, providing safety to local frontline healthcare workers. Here at the University of Minnesota, the student support remains strong. Our residence halls remain open. Students can access food through dining services. Free food is provided to students in need, and our healthcare facility is seeing patients. There has been no interruption to student services as we work remotely. This summer, we will have a variety of events to give you a chance to learn more about the campus and the Twin Cities. In this challenging time with many unknowns, we want you to know that our goal is for you to begin your fall semester ready for the academic journey. These webinars are part of that preparation. We have a fantastic team in ISSS and great partners. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Amy Tostenson, Director of International Student Recruitment at ISSS.
Thanks so much, Barbara. I am so glad to have the chance to talk with you today as part of this forum. As you may know, my role is to work with families and students before they enroll at the University of Minnesota. And some of you may have been talking with Chelsea Keeney, my colleague, also in international student recruitment, and she sends her greetings as well, but she's not joining us today. So both of us want to say that it's been a pleasure to have been emailing, Zoom calling, and otherwise serving as your guide through the maze of processes you have to navigate so that you could arrive at this very point. We know you have had many choices, and we're really happy that you've chosen the University of Minnesota. And we know that you'll make a wonderful addition to our community, and you should be really, really proud of yourself. So as part of this forum, we put together some helpful tips as you plan for your studies at the University of Minnesota. And I'm going to focus around budgeting, immunizations, and housing. So what's really important around budgeting is that last month, the University of Minnesota Board of Regents voted to keep the tuition the same for the upcoming year. So there will be no increase over this year's tuition rate. And also that tuition rate is fixed for 13 credits and higher. So this will help you and your family plan because the cost would be the same if you take 13 credits or 20 credits or any amount in between. And usually one class is 4 credits. An important thing to remember is that if your parents or someone else will be making payments to your student account on your behalf, you must give them access because the billing is in your name. And as an international student, another thing to think about when you're considering your budget is that it is possible for you to get an on-campus job. It's one of the benefits of F1 immigration status. So on-campus pay rates are around $10 per hour, but you cannot work more than 20 hours per week while classes are in session. So since the amount of time that you can work is limited, that money that you can earn is best used for personal expenses, books, or other smaller items. But it's a very good way to supplement your budget and also gain some practical skills that then you can add to your resume or your CV. Another important point is that payment plans are available. So the standard way to pay is to pay the full amount at the beginning of each semester. But the payment plans can break the semester bill down into 3 smaller payments. And that process is outlined on the One Stop website. And there is a $20 per semester fee to have the payment plan. So those are some good tips around budgeting. An important thing to know is also you need to have a certain number of immunizations. All University of Minnesota students, international and US students, must complete an immunization form at the start of their university studies. So you need to be immunized for diphtheria, tetanus, measles, mumps, and rubella. So you'll find the immunization record form on Boynton Health Services website. That's our main health services on campus. And if you already know the dates that you've had the immunizations, you can fill those in. If you don't know the dates, you need to check with either your parents, your guardian, or your medical provider. But if you haven't had some of the required immunizations already, when you arrive on campus, Boynton Health can provide those to you after you register for your fall semester classes. And housing. So if you can arrive in time for fall, we do encourage you to live on campus. It's very convenient, and studies have shown that students who live on campus are more engaged in campus life. However, we don't require that students live on campus. But if you'd like to apply for on-campus housing, the deadline has been extended to June 1st, and the sooner you apply, the better your chances are of getting your preferred space. If you'd like to live off campus, there are resources on the Housing and Residence Life website, as well as University of Minnesota Legal Services, who can help you understand the legal aspects of any lease that you might need to sign to get your off-campus housing. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Jenny Mealy from our Office of Admissions to cover the remaining points.
Thank you, Amy. And I want to say that I share in the pleasure of working with you and your families, and so forward to looking to seeing you soon. Looking forward to seeing you soon is what I meant to say. My apologies this morning. So I'm going to talk about final educational documents. And we understand that students may have a delay this year in receiving their final educational documents, of course, due to COVID-19. The Office of Admissions will work with you on an individual basis if there are any questions you have about what final documents you need, the availability of them, and the due dates that we have for those. We do send a number of email communications to you and as reminders about the documents that we're looking for. And just to let you know that we're looking for specific documents based on your curriculum. For example, a student completing an international baccalaureate diploma, of course, we would want a complete transcript for high school, but then also your IB exam results when those are available in July. Or if you're completing a national curriculum for your country, we would want to see whatever it is that's specific to that curriculum. We do have a web page on our admissions website that lists common curriculums that we see students coming from and shows sample documents that we expect. And again, if you have any questions about anything to do with your final educational documents, please don't hesitate to contact admissions. The admissions website is admissions.tc.umn.edu. And regarding some of the final exams, the University of Minnesota has reviewed and respects the expertise of testing boards and schools and educational institutions to make alternate assessments due to the COVID-19 for students who are finishing their schooling in 2020. We will continue to grant transfer credit for IB and A-level work according to our current award schedules. And the current award schedules are on the same website for admissions. For fun U of M downloads and to show your U of M school spirit, make sure to visit both Future Gopher and U of M and Proud, where you can, like I said, download some fun things or post pictures and anything else that you want to share with your growing university community. And next, I'd like to introduce Ms. Lisa Gruska, Director of Orientation Programs at the University of Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about orientation and next steps. Many of you have already started what is called the new student checklist, but I know that there have been several that have not. So the new student checklist is the spot where students will start the process of enrollment. So on that new student checklist, there are several steps that are personalized to each student that you will need to complete in order to come to orientation and get registered for your fall semester classes. So for example, there is information about orientation date, information about placement exams, how to upload a picture for your U card, which is your student ID card. So several steps on that new student checklist. So we really need students to start that if you haven't already, and you can access that at checklist.umn.edu. Now your orientation requirement for this year is going to look different. We are calling this a remote orientation, and it will have two major components. The first component is an online orientation via our learning module, Canvas. For new freshmen, this will be available to you on May 26th, and for new transfer students, this will be available on June 15th. To access the online orientation via Canvas, you will go back into your new student checklist to get the link to your online orientation. This is going to take about 2 to 3 hours to complete. You will take a quiz at the end of the college section, and then passing that quiz is what will allow you to attend your scheduled orientation date. Now, in the online orientation, you will review information about university departments, as well as a lot of information from your College of Enrollment. And this is all to prepare you for your meeting with your academic advisor on your scheduled orientation date and to register for classes. As part of the new student checklist, you will be selecting an orientation date. This is a one-day program. Students should expect to be online for 3 to 5 hours on their scheduled orientation date. We will be using the software Zoom, just like we're using here, for your appointments. Your day will consist of a small group meeting with an orientation leader with other students from your College of Enrollment. So it's a great opportunity for you to meet some of your classmates, both international and domestic. You will then meet with your College of Enrollment, your academic advisor, and you will register for your fall semester classes. And so although we don't know what fall is going to look like just yet, we do want to get you registered as soon as possible. One of the benefits of the situation we are in is that international students don't have to wait till late August to register. International students can begin registering on the first day of orientation, which this year is June 3rd. And I know several of you already have that date as an orientation date. So that's why it's so important for students to get their orientation date earlier. If you have any questions, you can always email orientation@umn.edu. Thank you. I'm going to turn it back to Kabir.
Thank you, Lisa. So now we are going to begin the question and answer session. My colleague, Assistant Director for Advising at International Student and Scholar Services, will be helping me. Teresa Gangal-Hassam-Louie will be helping me answer immigration questions as well. At the bottom of your screen, there are two functions that you will see. There is a Q&A function and there is a chat function. We encourage you to use the chat function as a way for us to record the questions you are asking. In the event that you want to be anonymous in terms of the question you are asking, use the Q&A function. But really, we would love to have you use the chat function. I know that there will be more questions asked than we can respond today. So we encourage you to contact us and know that all the people you have seen today on this Zoom session are here for you. So feel free to ask questions even after this session is over. So we are going to start with Dr. Barbara Kapler. There is a question. What are the university's plans if I am not able to arrive on time to start fall semester?
I really appreciate the question. If that should be the case, please be assured that the University of Minnesota is going to be offering an engaging academic experience for those not able to arrive.
All right, thank you. Teresa, is there an immigration question?
There is. So this question is for Tom. And Tom, the student's asking about their I-20. What will happen to the I-20 if a student can't arrive at the university before September because of the visa problem? Do they need a new I-20 to start later?
Thank you, Teresa, and thanks to all of you for joining us. I just want you all to know that we have a great team of advisors that'll help you throughout your stay at the University of Minnesota. In regards to the I-20, yes, you can work directly with the ISSS if you find that you're not able to come for the fall semester, and the start date on that I-20 can be deferred to a later date. So again, just work with the ISSS on receiving an updated I-20.
All right, thank you, Tom. This is an admissions question for Jenny. If I cannot attend this fall, can I defer my admission to spring 2021 or fall 2021?
Sure. And I know that's a question that's on students' minds. So the University of Minnesota does have something we call a gap year. And there is a process for students to request taking a gap year. For new freshmen, that means you would be requesting to start for fall 2021 because we do not offer spring admission for new freshmen. Transfer students, there is no deferral or gap year. You would need to update your application and reapply for the next available semester. There is on the admissions website, there is a page with more information about what you can do or what you might be doing during your gap year and how to request. It's quite easy just to submit a brief statement requesting a gap year. I do want to say that if your gap year involves taking classes at a college or university, then unfortunately as you would not be considered a freshman any longer, because we say that post-secondary attendance changes you to a transfer student. So then you would need to reapply as a transfer student. That's outside the University of Minnesota.
So Tom, how would the gap year affect an international student's status?
Thanks again. Well, since you wouldn't be coming to the United States during that gap year as an F1 student, you wouldn't begin your F1 status. So similar to the first question, if you've made that decision then to come a year later, you could work with the ISSS and get a new updated I-20 with that later start date on it.
All right, thank you. This is a question for Dr. Barbara Kapler. In the event that classes for the fall semester are conducted remotely, will students still need to pay for housing and other on-campus fees?
In in June, President Gable will be presenting the university's plans for the fall. Once we know those plans, the campus will be responding quickly to update everyone on what the repercussions are in terms of how we can go forward with the next steps. So I hesitate to make any specific comments about any particular fees assessed, as there's so much that needs to be worked through for the fall plans. Rest assured that the institution is working diligently on those plans, and as soon as we are able to update on details, we will do so as quickly as possible.
Teresa, you're muted.
Just saw that. Sorry about that. The next question is for Tom. It says, I'm having difficulty scheduling an appointment for my visa interview. What can I do?
Yes, well, this is a difficult situation that U.S. consulate and embassies have different schedules that they're working under as far as attending public and reopening for visa interviews. Our suggestion is just to keep checking as frequently as they do open up appointments, so you can get one as quickly as they are available. If there's some general information from the Department of State, ISSS will be sending that out in general messages. But I would encourage everyone to check with the closest U.S. consulate or embassy. And also in the case of finding out if one part of where they're in your country, if there are multiple U.S. Consulates, see if you can get an appointment at one of those other consulates, even though it's maybe not in your direct geographic region.
All right. This is a question for Jenny. If I already have received my A-level, when and how should I go about submitting these results? And does submitting these grades be automatically considered for university credit? And I would also add to other submission of exam results as well.
Sure, I'll address first specifically A-level and then more general after that. That's wonderful if you've already received your A-level exams. The way that you can go about submitting them is if you have taken Cambridge or Pearson's, you can have your results sent electronically to the University of Minnesota and we can download them, which is the easiest way probably for both of us to do this. And once we get those results, we automatically consider them for transfer credit. If you have taken a different examining board A-level, it's a little more involved. One is we would see your original documents, which are pretty tough right now since you can't come to campus. Or you could have your school, if they're available, notarize or say that this is an official copy of your A-level exam and send it in their seal stamped envelope to the Office of Admissions. So, and then when we receive it again, we'll add it to your file and automatically consider it for transfer credit. So that's for A-level work. Also, IB results also come electronically to us. You generally work with the advisor or your academic, your IB coordinator at your school, who will have them sent to IB and IB will send them to us. So you just need to request that. If you're an outside candidate or something like that, there are instructions on the IB website as far as how to have your results sent electronically. We do usually want to receive certain test results like IB and A-level directly from the examining boards when possible. Now, there are lots of other examining boards and final exams that we, of course, are looking for. And depending upon your situation and which curriculum you're in, we may be able to take a copy from your school or from you or from the examining board. I recommend that you check our admissions website for those sample documents I talked about earlier, and then contact admissions with any questions about what you need to submit and how you need to submit them. So I hope that's helpful.
Tom, here's a question that came in on the chat. Do transfer students need to provide formal financial proof for a new I-20?
Well, if you haven't received your I-20, then as part of that process, we would want the financial proof. Maybe Jenny can mention a little bit more about that, or even Amy, is during the admissions process that would have been taken care of. So are you, maybe, or is the question referring to a deferral, needing to just a transfer student showing financial proof for the I-20? Amy or Jenny, did you have anything else to mention to that?
So I'm sorry, I really don't have anything to add to that. Amy, if you want, I don't know if you want to address how students apply for their I-20, which is through ISSS.
Yeah, and Teresa might be able to answer this better than I, but my understanding is that students need to fill out the a financial certification form through their My ISS portal. So as soon as you have all of your information gathered, log into My ISSS and complete that, and then that will go to our ISSS team, who will then prepare your I-20 based on the information that you have submitted through the form.
All right. Lisa, this is a question for you. And this came through the chat. Would I be able to register for classes on June 15th, or would it happen at a later date?
Thank you, Kabir. I answered Ang's questions privately. As a transfer student, his schedule was a little bit different. So we've answered those questions.
Okay, thank you. Another question for you. Are the residence halls open during holidays?
I have an answer to that question coming shortly. I'll have that in just a minute.
All right. Okay.
We have another question here for Tom. And it's about paying the SEVIS fee. If I paid the SEVIS fee and I can't get a visa appointment, will I lose the $350?
No, the good news is you do not lose that. That SEVIS fee can be utilized for up to 12 months. So if you did have to defer, you could continue to use that SEVIS fee. There's an FAQ on the SEVIS fee website that talks about the if you had to move it to a new I-20 number. But if your I-20 number stays the same, then that fee will stay right with it.
All right. Amy, the next question is for you. If I have received a scholarship, will I be able to keep it if I defer?
Yes, so if you are a freshman who takes a gap year, and in that year you don't attend another university before you start at the University of Minnesota, then the scholarship will carry over automatically. However, if you do attend another university in the meantime, then you would need to work with the admissions office to reapply as a transfer student. And it is not guaranteed that a scholarship would carry over for a transfer student.
Thank you.
This next question, I'm going to have Jenny Mealy answer. It says, if I received my I-20 and the spots that ask for major indicates liberal arts and science / liberal studies, but my intended major is economics, is this right?
So I think this has something to do with the way that CLA lists their majors, and I believe if anyone in ISSS can verify this, that that everyone shows up similar to that for the College of Liberal Arts, because they have you listed as economics, but further down the line, if that makes sense. So it's not showing up in that space on your I-20. Does anybody else have more information to clarify that?
I can just mention that when students arrive and their major is not correct or is different than what they thought it was going to be, they can come in and talk to an ISSS advisor. Some majors, students have to be admitted directly into those majors, and you have prerequisites, so it would be after you've met those requirements that we can change or update the major. But in the case of CLA, where they do this general category, we can update that pretty quickly. You just come to ISSS.
All right. Lisa, in terms of the housing questions, can students stay in housing during the holidays, such as Christmas and Thanksgiving?
Thank you for your patience, everyone. I wanted to double check the response. The response is that all halls are open during the Thanksgiving break. And currently, when it is winter break, we have a few halls open, and most students will move to a temporary housing in a building called Centennial Hall, so that you can still stay on campus, but you may have to move temporarily to another room during the winter break.
Thank
you. And Kabir, I don't see other immigration questions, so if you want to go with another question from the other panelists.
Sure. Lisa, this is another question for you. What is the latest date that a student can arrive at the university to attend fall 2020?
Our suggested arrival date is August 26th. This will give students time to acclimate, get over their jet lag, and get prepared for the first days of welcome week and the first days of class. Now, we recognize that might be a little bit more challenging this year. And so there is flexibility into the first week of class. That is all statements I make in the instance that we are in person for fall semester. So there is some flexibility into the first week of class, but ideally we would have you arrive on August 26th. Oftentimes followed up is a question of, should I buy my plane ticket and start making my plans for arrival? My suggestion to that would be maybe to hold off until we have a response from the institution about what fall classes are going to look like. And so that as a family, you're making a decision based on that information.
All right, thank you. Is there another question for immigration?
There is another question about immigration. It's about a transfer student wanting to take classes in the summer. I think it's going to be better for that student to have their question answered offline because it's a bit specific. Okay. She can email us at ISSS.
Sounds good. Amy, there is another question for you. My family is having financial difficulties due to COVID-19. Are there scholarships funding available?
So at the present time, all of our available scholarships for new freshmen and transfer students have already been awarded. So right now we don't have any additional funding from the university. But if your family needs additional time to save, or you could do the gap year process like Jenny had described earlier. And I think that those requests are due by July 1st. There is one loan option. However, it's through the Minnesota Office of Higher Education. It's called the SELF loan. International students can borrow funds for their studies, provided that they have a credit-worthy cosigner who is a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. So that cosigner guarantees that he or she will repay the loan if the student isn't able to do that. And then I also chatted briefly earlier about the on-campus job option that could cover a small portion of expenses, but not a substantial amount toward tuition.
All right, thank you. There's another question for Barbara. Should my family purchase airline tickets and arrange all necessary travel arrangements to start the fall semester to arrive on the 26th? But do our authorities here require self-quarantining upon arrival? Unmute, Barbara.
Thank you. I think there's two aspects to that question. One, I want to echo what Lisa was advising, that encouraging you to wait until we have announcement from the institution about the fall plans, as then you would be able to make your decisions about the next steps and detailed plans regarding airline tickets and the other logistics for arriving on campus. And in regards to quarantine, the quarantine would be done as of right now in the United States based on the individual creating that quarantine environment. So planning at this point in time for that to be a self-quarantine. It is not a quarantine required by the US government to be located in a particular setting. And Kabir, I want to check, did I address the questions that were asked there? Okay, thank you.
This is a question for Jenny. Can international students participate in research opportunities?
I'm so glad somebody asked that question. One of the benefits of attending the University of Minnesota is that we are a research institution, and that undergraduate students can not only participate but initiate research projects. There is a program on campus called the Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program, or UROP, and just for that very reason. And just a reminder that research takes place in every discipline. We often think of the science-heavy disciplines as being research-based, but this program is open to any kind of major study for students to participate in. And the neat thing about this program is students propose something in conjunction with a faculty member, so that it encourages students to form those relationships with their faculty, as well as developing those research skills and maybe even being published. So I would encourage you, if you're interested in research, to review the UROP website.
All right, thank you.
Amy, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Well, I think Jenny answered that question in an excellent way. And one of the things I often remind prospective students is that there's over $900 million every year in research funding that comes to the institution. So there are so many projects going on. And if you have a particular area of interest, like say our example of the person who was talking about economics earlier, maybe there's an economics professor that is doing research in an area that you're really interested in. You can look on our website and find out what each faculty member is doing. We also have an experts database on our website that you can go to and see all of the wide variety of research that's happening on campus. So like Jenny said, it's a huge advantage to come to a university like the University of Minnesota if you are interested in doing research.
All right, this is a question for Lisa around housing. A student already paid a $50 fee, but didn't get any confirmation. Will they get a response from housing? And they also know that they need to pay a guarantee fee. So if you can just give a little bit of information, if you're able, and I'll see if Jenny and Amy can jump in as well.
Rosa, I saw your question and I'm double checking the status of your application, and I'll respond to you privately about that. But yes, good question about the housing guarantee. The deadline for that has been extended to June 8th. And so for those students who have applied for housing, we encourage you to pay that housing guarantee into June 8th. But in regards to Rosa's question specifically, as a transfer student, that process for housing is a little bit different. So I am going to respond privately to her.
All right, thank you. There is another question for Amy and Jenny. It's a very specific question. What is the difference between Europe, the Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program, and URS, which I don't know what that stands for.
I think I can take that one. I think the person is referring to UROS, UROS, which is the Undergraduate Research Opportunities Scholarship. And the UROP is the Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program. So the P is the program, and the S is the scholarship that students can receive in order to participate in that program. So we like our acronyms at the University of Minnesota. So that's one great example of something that's confusing. So.
All right, thank you. Teresa, any additional questions on your end?
I don't see any additional immigration questions. There is a transfer question about transfer credits. I don't know if maybe Jenny Neely would be able to answer it. The student is going to continue to take classes in the summer at their college. Will the university allow the student to transfer those credits, and what's the maximum number of transfer credits the University of Minnesota accepts?
Yep. Another good question. There really actually is no maximum that we accept. However, there are all kinds of different requirements, of course, for meeting degree requirements at the University of Minnesota. What I encourage you to do is reach out to the Office of Admissions specifically, since I'm not sure which institution you'll be taking those classes from, if it's international, if it's within the US. We just want to verify that your institution is transferable, and then we can give you more information about transferring. There is also, if you feel like it, an extensive website, web pages in the admissions website about transfer credit, both domestic and international. And if you want to email me directly or to the office, contact information is on the slide, and we're happy to follow up with you about that as well.
All right. Lisa, this is another question for you. If I register for classes and I'm unable to arrive in the fall, can I drop the classes without being charged tuition?
Absolutely. If something changes and you are not going to be here in the fall, you will need to withdraw from those courses, and your academic advisor will be able to assist you with that. But there is a next step that is necessary. You would need to contact the Office of Admissions to formally withdraw your application to ensure that your enrollment gets fully canceled at the institution, or apply for that gap year option.
All right, thank you. Another question for you, Lisa. Is health insurance required for all international students?
Yes, for international students, health insurance is required, and our cost of healthcare is fairly high here in the United States. And so this is something that we do for international students, really to protect you. And students will be automatically registered in our student health benefit plan. And our Boynton Health website has a lot of information for international students about what this plan includes. It is fairly comprehensive. It includes medical, dental, and I believe eye care as well.
All right, thank you. This is a question for either Jenny or Amy. How are the honors programs different from the undergraduate research opportunities program? Can international students apply for both?
Do you want to take it, Amy, or would you like me to answer?
Jenny, you can start.
Okay, so the honors program and the research opportunities are two separate opportunities on campus. The honors program is the way that you graduate with Latin honors from the University of Minnesota. It is a college at the University of Minnesota, and you do have an advisor in honors. International students do participate in the honors program. It also offers a lot of different connections to make and classes that you take as an honor student in order to graduate with those Latin honors. It is pretty rigorous. You're already admitted to a rigorous institution, and the honors courses are even more so rigorous. If you are not admitted to honors as a freshman, you do have the opportunity to apply later in your career for the honors program and still graduate with Latin honors. And I really think that international students are great candidates for applying for honors, maybe after they've gotten their feet under them a little bit with the freshman year, adjust to the style of education, the extensive writing that's involved, and I'll let Amy add to that.
Yeah, I don't know that I have much to add, but I think I would just echo what Jenny says, is it's two separate programs. So if you aren't in honors, that doesn't mean you can't do the research opportunities program. So they're just two separate things.
Lisa, there is a question about health insurance, and it might be very specific. In terms of the student has an American insurance plan, and can the insurance be waived? Insurance requirement be waived for that, for the student?
I actually don't know the answer to that question, as I don't know what would take precedence if it's the international status or the American health benefit plan. So I would defer the question to the Student Health Benefit Office. And I will try to post an email address here in just a second for you.
Okay, thank you. Teresa, any other questions remaining regarding immigration?
I don't see any other immigration related questions.
Okay, all right. I think we have answered all of the questions, and I know there might be some very specific questions such as the health insurance plan. Please connect with the Office of Student Health Benefits. Again, please be sure to continue asking these questions to the specific departments, but if you're having any problems, contact International Student and Scholar Services at isssnew@umn.edu, also listed on the slide that you are seeing. So again, we want to really thank you for taking the time to join us today. I'm going to ask Dr. Barbara Kapler to do a closing for us.
I'm really glad that you joined today. We ask that you stay connected with admissions, orientation and transition experiences, and ISSS. We strive to provide timely information to you during this pandemic. We all continue to offer services while working remotely. Continue to be connected by attending the University of Minnesota's 2 upcoming International Student-Specific Virtual Forums. Each session will take place twice. On behalf of all of us at the University of Minnesota, we thank you for choosing the University of Minnesota and your trust in the university. You are a valuable part of the university's community. We look forward to upcoming communications and seeing you at the next webinar. Thank you.